Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost ready here. It's Team SPUNJ versus Team Luke. Australians versus the Taiwanese. Are you ready, Samla?
It's time to go for a ride on train.
Let's get into it. Train coming up for us. We haven't even had that before. It's a way outside pick. I'm wondering how it's going to play out here. This is definitely a map that will be very hard to play, I think, any kind of structured play on. And the thing is, if you play like random, let's just go as like a death ball type play, it can still end horribly. Like in every way, this is just a weird game. And SPUNJ, they all have the same avatar. What kind of egomaniac captain are we dealing with here?
One who must have total control.
That's not a captain, he's a dictator.
Yeah, exactly. It's not, it's not Big Brother anymore. It's Big SPUNJ.
Apparently so. They are setting up for a very, very aggressive hold over towards the B bomb side. In fact, 3 people up in brown holes going to run right into Arcadia, and he will only get the 1 kill. Going to be going down right afterwards. Now Deoxide, look at the shots coming out. 2 shots, and Namerus and Luke are going to be out already. Crazy Phase trying to see if he can bring it back. He's down to 25 health and in a 1-on-3.
Crazy Face. He's going to have to show it now. He's down to 9 HP. Just took a bit of shrapnel there from the HE. He's looking for that pre-fired headshot. He's going to get it. Dinks him down to 7 HP, but it's not going to be good enough. HPR will show up. HPR sounded like he had a lot riding on this tournament as well, so they need to keep it light. They need to keep it limber. Deoxide needs to keep hitting headshots, and I think the Aussies, the Roos, stand a good chance here.
Not impossible. Look at this. This is just so good, isn't it? Very, very clean stuff coming through. They're going to buy 4 UMPs, and SPUNJ, because he is a bit of a special child, will be picking up an MP7 instead.
Hey, the leader does what he wants.
Yeah.
You don't judge the boss.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of judging SPUNJ in this particular broadcast, I can guarantee. Down to a little bit of half health there for Crazy Face. They've bought armor on everybody, and Tech9s and even a Deagle and a couple of P250 there. So it's all pretty good. I like this buy coming out of Team Luke.
I'm impressed.
The same setup here again. And you notice, I mean, we have to point this out. You notice how SPUNJ is the one behind his teammates?
Yeah.
He's feeding them first, and then he's going to try and go and get the kills.
Very similar to a Maikelele setup. You know, it's worked. We've seen it work so far, but run by. There we go. The drive-by. Still 2 players here to try and bolster things, to try and keep things under control, and SPUNJ eventually going to run out of bullets and get overwhelmed. Rotation has come through, but that doesn't mean that we already have a man out on the A site, and Luke, he's got that bomb. He can rotate either way. Either way.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that he's so far behind, because otherwise maybe Namerus could have held the bomb site for a while. Flashbang going to be going out. He's going to go for the fight, but right in front of him, Deoxide going to come in with a kill. Leaves Luke 1 versus 2 with about 30 seconds. And they are rotating back at this. They're actually being very aggressive right now. Luke is playing it patiently. The problem is if he waits too long, if it's down to 10 seconds or something, they will just run in and try and take the fight. They won't even wait for anything. Luke going to take the Deoxide down, and now he's got a big chance here. He's got a smoke as well. If he can get it down, no, Insanity's going to run right through. So now 1-1-1. Luke going to go for it with the Tech9, doing the damage already, and there's a headshot. Luke will bring it back, and the Taiwanese team early on turning it around on the Australians.
Unbelievable. Are we going to have another one of those series that just goes tit for tat back and forth? Because that could definitely happen, it seems. There is the aim on both of these teams. And it comes, I mean, this whole, if you want to turn it into a name game, all right, this whole train pick coming in from SPUNJ might come back to bite them. Because you are dealing with a team like Team Luke, an actual team. They might have had a bit more time to get prepared on this map. But then as I'm saying that, Insanity just goes for the drive-by with the UMP, drops Crazy Face.
Yeah, I mean, again, they just buy right into a Team SPUNJ, right? They don't take no for an answer. They're just ready to keep fighting here. And with the first pick, and especially because they have the M4 and the Scout as well on SPUNJ there, I think it could be lethal. Insanity will go down. That's a good shot from Arcadia. I'm wondering if they're going to be able to make a breakthrough in the B bomb site. I mean, it's not a bad pick. You can guess that there's likely to be just 1 or 2 people there. And usually it's just 1. Toniac. Although Spice God would have been a good name too.
Yeah. Spice God? Yeah, if he could have stayed on that. Straya as well. Oh, whoa. Double headshot straight up from Yanli. Doesn't wait any time. Doesn't waste any time. HPR going to take one to the face from Arcadia as well. Now a 2-man advantage. SPUNJ, I mean, you know, as all good in-game leaders should, letting his team go in first and hoping to find a pick, but it's not going to happen. Gets taken out of the fight fairly quickly there, and Deoxide is going to be the last man alive here with the P250.
So all of this is working out just fine for the Taiwanese team. Deoxide, maybe he can save the defuse kit and the armor for another time. I mean, he's got plenty of armor still. It's not, wouldn't be such a bad thing if that could happen. He's even picked up the UMP here, and I think if he just walks a little bit further away, he's going to be fine for the bomb as well. Don't think they can easily catch him in time. So 2-1 as the scoreline, and we're going to head into the 4th round here. But that was a big investment into that round for the Australian team, and they didn't get much out of it. Yan Li actually has a cap with his name on it. That's incredible.
It's like some Taz level.
Yeah, or Hiko or someone, you know?
Yeah. Hiko's got a logo, you know?
Personal branding. I like it.
But Taz has straight up got the Tasmanian Devil cap from Disney, right? It's like, all right, Taz. Well played.
Ooh. Luke going to take down HP out very early on in this round. It did take a lot of damage in return, but they only have the UMP on the Deoxide. Did he actually buy more grenades behind it as well? Or did he? I think he did. That's a bit of an investment again. Yan Li going for a bit of a fight in here, but the Deoxide will take down 2, 1 with the grenade, so the investment definitely paying off now. Nameless needs some backup out in this yard, otherwise he might end up getting closed in on. Insanity going to be able to pick up the kill, but Crazy Face is there with the AWP.
And well, they're just getting whittled down, and this was an eco round essentially coming in here from Team SPUNJ. P250s and the like, and yet somehow Crazy Face will finally pick on Spice God. I'm just going to call him Spice God because better name. And a 2-on-2 scenario now unfolds. Deoxide and SPUNJ have to work together. They've got a crossfire set up on the site, and Luke is going to walk right into Deoxide, so he gets nearly taken out. Down to 3 HP. SPUNJ is there to find the shot on Crazy Face, and well, now Luke's in a bit of a tight spot. 3 HP, 1v2, 40 seconds left, and well, Team SPUNJ have got control of the bomb.
Nice headshot from Luke, but he doesn't realize Deoxide is right there with the UMP for the 3rd kill of the round. So right now, he's certainly living up to the hype right now. Plus, he seems hyped. He's very, very animated already, and we're sort of early in here. So they keep trading rounds, which is, I mean, par for the course in this tournament. So we've seen that a lot on day 1 already.
Bump it. They got the fist bumps going already. But they had enough money. They do have enough money for the buy. Just no AWP this time for Crazy Face, so see if we can find a pick otherwise. But the way this is set up now, it's a very default kind of approach here from Team Luke. Spread out. We see some good early aggression there coming in from, what was that, Deoxide? He's holding over by Ali, is he not? Have they changed up? That's SPUNJ holding Ali, so they have changed up.
Yeah. I think they did that already in the 2nd round. Like he was just there for the pistol. Maybe it's just like his favorite spot in a pistol with a USP, and then they kind of, or maybe SPUNJ just said, "Wait, you're getting kills here. I'm gonna need those kills." And instead, he goes down. Nameless to pick it up. Now they're gonna try and see if they can close in and pinch this A bomb site. Already a great shot from Insanity with the M4, but he's on 1 health and he's gonna get taken out. Still not quite working for them. Deoxide and Toniak left 2 versus 4, trying to see if they can get this long-range fight going, and Deoxide will take down Arcadia. Not a bad start. Toniak also looking for 1. He's going to get a lot of damage into Nameless, but that bomb plant is very delayed here for the Taiwanese team. They're finally going to get to it.
Still, they're so low right now. Nameless not a whole lot of HP to work with. Practically sneeze on them, but they don't have any HEs. They only have the single flash on Deoxide, so Toniak hoping that somebody makes a mistake. Deoxide going to hit the headshot, but Crazy Face, unfortunately, the AK trumps the M4 when it comes to headshots in that department. Tags him as well, and they do survive. So this is, again, just back and forth right now between both of these teams. A bit of an emotional roller coaster for Straya. And that's the issue, is when you get really hype when you win, you need to get really hype when you lose, because otherwise you just get all quiet. You get really quiet.
What time is it now in Australia? It must be quite late, right? It's like 4 in the... I'm so bad at time zones. I will definitely screw this up, but I want to say it's like 5 or 6 or something in the morning. I'm just trying to figure out how many Australian fans will have stuck by Captain SPUNJ here and sort of tuned in to support. I hope they will.
They gotta be diehard.
Someone tweet me, or someone from the production crew find out. I'm never sure how time zones work. Can't we just have one time zone?
Global. That's what I'm saying.
One clock. That
Time is just an illusion, anyways, right? This calendar. All this is just man-made.
Insanity. I will follow up on that later, but he's gonna be going down a crazy phase. It is a 4-on-5 actually here, so only losing one person so far. And no, obviously, the illusion is that time is a linear construct. That's the problem. HPR, oh, taking down Namers. That's a nice shot. He's going to go for more as well. He drops Luke. That's so good with the deagle and takes no damage for it. That's a big blow here to the Taiwanese team. Now, 4 versus 3. Crazy Face gets dropped. HPR, will somebody put an end to this madness with the deagle? Yan Lee going to come in and try and see if he can stop it with the Deoxide is in the B-bomb side, and he has already proven that he's very good at playing this game. Arcadia now will be in a 1-on-4, trapped with 13 health and 24 seconds left. That means at least his suffering will be not that long. HPR goes down, but SPUNJ is there to try and pad his stats a little bit at the end.
It's good to have an Aussie team back in the studio, that's for sure. Let's go, boys. Making noise. But more of the same, basically. Another pistol, another situation where teams are dealing with, or having trouble dealing with anti-eco situations. It's not able to capitalize on their opponents being stuck on pistols. And what are we going to have here? It looks like, again, a spread coming in from Team Luke instead of trying to focal to be, well. Oh, okay. Arcadia hitting another headshot. Might get a second. Not quite. Looks like Toniac's going to survive with 8 HP, but still cutting it close.
That looked so good. I haven't seen many shots like that with the Tech-9 at least. Get them usually with the AK or something, but Luke will be going down. Yan Lee also taking an HPR, and Deoxide up in the sniper's nest. He's dropped kind of low. They have to be careful. Grenade going to land right at the feet. They don't have any body armor, so Nameless takes quite a bit of damage with the P90s in effect from Yan Lee. Only the 1 kill, though. Leaves Nameless 1 versus 2.
And with a dream, except that the bomb is dropped, and looks like Team SPUNJ know exactly where it is. Yep, they've got eyes on it. And so now he can try and change up the positioning, but they're in a very clever spot, trying to make out who's actually under. It's okay. So it is Deoxide. He's holding right under Sniper, so he's not really exposed to connector. He's really convinced that this guy's going to be coming from alley. Walks out, takes the peek at the perfect time, and gets the headshot on Nameless. So this is yeah, it's going to be that Aussie back and forth, and I think we just had a technical pause called there.
That's good, because I have important information, which is that apparently it's around 8 a.m., 8:40, depending on. I didn't even realize Australia had different time zones as well.
It's a big place, man.
I don't really know anything about Australia, in fact. But that's bad news still, because 8 a.m. is really early for gamers. Like, that's no one is going to be up. But apparently, at least like 6 people are on my Twitter profile, so that's good news. Someone is awake to cheer for the Australian team. That's good news. They might need it. I mean, they're trading a lot around here, but I'm wondering ultimately,
can the Spirit Bomb come from all the way in Australia to Stockholm? All right, you know, that's a long way for that energy to travel, you know, to help SPUNJ out and the other Aussies.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if it's gonna be possible. There might be a huge delay. What does it travel at? Speed of light?
I guess.
Then it'll be a quick. then it won't be a problem.
Then it will be pretty straightforward.
I'm not gonna try and do the math, but yeah. 8th round is coming up here, and again, no one seems to want to completely bow down and just take a full eco. They're all the time buying just a bit to try and see if they can increase their odds to win these rounds, and this time it's more Tech-9, some grenades as well, and they're going to try and see if they can get closer here. Can they find the kill? That smoke is actually blocking them from doing it, and Deoxide's going to stay alive a little while longer, gets the 2nd kill in, and in the meantime, they're trying to get the bomb into the B-bomb side. With the kill there, Arcadia, the bomb does drop quite far up, but I think that should be a bomb plant.
Yeah, they will be able to get that bonus 800. There's no way to deny it. They're trying to get the HE dunks in, but not enough, and he doesn't find a kill either, so a little bit of a shame there. But yeah, you can see Deoxide. The incendiary wasn't quite there on point, wasn't quite far enough in to deny the bomb plant, so we wind up with another Aussie round.
And look at this, Deoxide with, what, 14 kills or something at this point? He's way above everybody else in the server, so...
This is SPUNJ's ace in the hole.
He basically SPUNJ picked this team based off, like, how can I do the least work possible in preparation and when we're playing? Smart tactic. Work smart, not hard.
Yeah, work smarter, not harder. Yeah. I mean, well, he's been on holiday for quite some time now, SPUNJ, so...
So he hasn't worked at all.
He just believes in ultimate total relaxation at this point. You know, he's stressed himself out so much with Vox and then with Renegades that
he's retired from life.
He's retired from giving a shit. He's just done with it. You know, he's just like, you know what? I'm just here to have fun. I'm here to have a good time. And straight up, at least, you know, that's the thing. Some players would come in here and they'd be like, "Oh man, we're gonna win this." And SPUNJ is like, "If we win, that's great. Otherwise, I'm gonna go have a beer over here in this bar that I heard about in Stockholm." You know, it's gonna be a good time for him.
Yeah. Gonna have this beer. It's gonna cost me €100.
Yeah, alcohol prices in Sweden.
Deoxide, little bit out of his comfort zone, you can tell, just running around in the middle of all those trains. They've also lost Insanity in the meantime. So now 5 versus 3 favoring the Taiwanese team here. Luke is captaining them towards an A push. And Arcadia is covering, making sure there's no flank possible. That's good news. Crazy Face goes down, but so does Deoxide, and there was the ace up the sleeve. Now he's out of the round, and HPR gonna get headshot by Yanling. So now SPUNJ, time to prove your worth, mate.
Mate. Let's go, Kawa.
Is it gonna be possible? I mean, it is kind of an unfair test, this one, because he only has 39 health, and it is a 1v3 with the bomb down. And they're also on top of him. He's looking the wrong way, so Yanli will take him down, but we'll give SPUNJ another chance later on. Still, it continues the trend. Like, no one is putting any sort of really big streaks together. They're just trading rounds all the time.
He's focused, though. I'm trying to get his attention, and he's not paying a lick of attention over to the commentary desk, so... It's good. Stay focused. Stay zoned in on the game. Don't give up. Never abandon. And Toniak is going with the MP7. I almost like Deoxide's choice of going with the CZ75 more, to be frank. I mean, MP7 is good, but I'd say that the UMP is better. And, well, SPUNJ, that's not pretty.
Not quite working out this time. And the Taiwanese team, in spite of getting an early kill like that, they're not going to try and go for anything else. HPR gets shut down in spite of trying for that pop flash that you throw against the train.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't obviously catch Crazy Face on the other side, and he's going to walk in. He's leading the charge with the AWP. That's very brave. Hasn't rescoped, it seems. Now he finally does. That if someone is holding close, that will obviously give away the sound cue that someone's scoping on the other side. So it's always dangerous to do that.
Oh. Angle here for Insanity to work with. And they're going to line up for him, but he's going to run out of bullets, basically. Just too little to work with. Crazy Face with some good movement. Picks up a kill on Spice God. Point blank with the AWP. That leaves Deoxide alone. Outside CZ75 at A main. But the action's inside right now, D. It's over on the B side right now, where the bomb plant is getting, well, the bomb is getting planted, rather. And we're going to be looking at a tied situation, 5-5. Arcadia and his lot and his team, Team Luke, they're putting up one hell of a fight here, Anders. Were you expecting this much out of them?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to obviously, because, you know, I don't know the individual players, but they did seem very focused. I think they're taking this about as seriously as almost any team in this tournament, I would say. So it's interesting to see them actually putting something on the board. Like, there is, especially if you're not used to it and if you're not used to the environment, there's absolutely a level you can hit where you feel so prepared going into it that the first sign of trouble, you know, it all crumbles, right? Because you were like way too focused and you were so wound up that it all falls. But it doesn't seem to be happening right now. Even though they lost a couple of rounds, they just keep the focus in. That's pretty cool. Even at a pro level, I would say some teams fall victim to that kind of thing. Toniak goes down early on, but then again, they don't have anything outside of just some pistols here.
Yeah, this is a hard eco round pretty much. Coming up here for Team SPUNJ. Nice shots here from HPR, though he does manage to get the drop on Crazy Face, but Namerez is there to trade the kill. And it's Insanity and SPUNJ pushing Brown Halls. Some team damage coming through, but that actually forces Arcadia, to turn back around and realize that he's getting flanked. SPUNJ point blank with the CZ.
Steals the AK and makes his way back up the ladder, which, I mean, I would be alright with SPUNJ trying to save this AK. Is he seriously going to try and clutch a 1v3 with no armor and no kit?
Is he doing this because they can buy the next round? That's the question.
Yeah, but this is the thing, is that even that logic, I think, is it's not good. Like,
It's not ideal.
no, because you can always say, yeah, but if you don't, you could buy even more grenades, or you could drop an AWP for someone, or like there are so many other things much other thing to do with that weapon, you know.
They definitely don't have the money
No.
to buy it next round. So this is double eco territory here, boys.
Never a fun time. Well, he's gonna get a headshot at least on Yan Lee, but can't get more than that long-range spray, and without the armor, he is not gonna come out on top. So good find for Luke. That's pretty important there, especially as you were pointing out, they aren't easily buying this round, so it's important to just keep the economy as low as possible and make sure they don't run into a stray AK somewhere.
Now, talking about commitments, both of these teams, you got the Americans who had to fly over. That's like, what, 16 hours, 15, 16 hours worth of commute, right, with the connecting flight, all that. Both of these teams would have had to have flown like, I don't know how many hours, especially Australia, even Taiwan. You can move pretty quick. I think it's like a 14-hour flight direct from Amsterdam to Taipei if you're coming from there.
Yeah.
But trying to remember back in January we did that flight, right? But SPUNJ and the lads, it's like 30 hours for one best of 3. If you lose, there's some pressure riding on this.
Oh, Crazy Face still doing more work. HPR out here in a 1v3. Oh, a nice headshot to take down Nameless. They have the bomb. They don't have to fight him, and he's going to be going down. That jumping scout also been changed, so much harder to do these days. But you're right. They did have a difficult time getting here, and luckily they were here in advance, so like the jet lag and everything else would have worn out, more or less. But that's still a pretty big a big deal. Right now, 7-5. Team Luke are starting to step it up. We're getting the double AWP out of Team SPUNJ. A sign maybe that they're starting to take this a bit more seriously. They're realizing, wait a minute, this is not looking good. Time to change
things up. I'm just glad that SPUNJ has given it up, and now it's Deoxide who actually has the AWP. All right, so between HPR and Deoxide, and we've got a boost coming through here. Are you kidding? Ah, clever stuff. That's a nasty angle. Looking straight into A main.
I mean, on the one hand, it's really good. On the other hand, it's so risky because it is not uncommon for people to throw grenades on that side for the smoke. So if you have that tower going on and you just instantly get grenaded, that's a bit risky.
You can say it. It's a sad time.
Yeah, it won't be fun at all, will it? Down to under a minute, and looks like the T side were expecting more aggression out of SPUNJ's team here. They've all been waiting, all covering the angles, hoping that someone would creep up, but that hasn't happened yet. So now eventually they're going to have to find something out. Also, SPUNJ team out of smoke, but they have 3 HE grenades left, which is kind of interesting. If it becomes a B plant and the Taiwanese don't push up, those 3 HE grenades could really do something. Looks like they're faking it as well.
Oh, I'm watching. Where are the shots going to come through? They have the smoke blocking down the mid of the trains, but a kill and a headshot as well. This is going to make things tricky here on the B site. Luke is down to 12 HP as well as Yan Lee, and Yan Lee still gets the wrap on Insanity, so doing the damage. It's a 3-on-3 now, and there's still a flank coming through just in the nick of time to get the bomb planted, but look at this. Deoxide will catch the Yan Lee looking the wrong way. SPUNJ takes down Luke, and now it's on Nameless coming through connector with the flank. Point blank obliteration. HPR just shuts him out.
That was really good stuff there. Nice retake coming out of Team SPUNJ. And whatever happens, it seems like Deoxide's just in a really good mood. I like that quality in Counter-Strike players.
He's having a ball, man.
Yeah.
Really especially because he just sounded really positive, like he has been playing for a while. And it's just, it sounded like for him it was just a good time. Kind of like for SPUNJ, same sort of thing, right? Putting yourself out there, having a good time, trying to hit some shots. And he's certainly the reason, I think a big reason why Team SPUNJ, you know, they have anything going for them at all right now. Guy's into double digits. Where's the rest of his team?
Oh, it looked like Crazy Face actually had the idea, but it's the same boost coming out of the Australian team. The Deoxide looking over the box, and they're going to get that kill. So, well done.
7-7 scenario, perhaps?
Yeah, I think that could definitely happen now. And again, I think we have to remember that playing the T sides can often be a bit easier with mixed teams. Even on train.
Yeah, you're just running for headshots, basically. I mean, SPUNJ couldn't be more clear. That's exactly what he said. We're running on headshots. We haven't practiced. We haven't come up with any strategies, you know, trying to find a default smoke or anything of the sort. Instead, it is just straight headshots that they're going to be looking for. Team looks still down a man, and an aggressive position here taken up. It's going to be Deoxide peeking. There's the flash. Perfectly done. That sets it up for SPUNJ to just murder them all. Namers and Luke wiped off the face of the planet.
Now, 2 versus 5. If they could get the bomb down, they could get their team some valuable economy later on. Arcadia, he is going to get the kill, but HPR will stop him. The bomb technically made it onto the bomb site, but there was no one to put in the digits, and they haven't yet figured out to do that before they run in.
You know, that's the thing. It'll totally change, revolutionize the game when somebody can remotely plug the digits in. Wasn't there a time in CS where you could just plant the bomb anywhere on the map as well?
Yes, but we're talking incredibly early days, so
yeah.
The amount of people left that would have played that was before there was anything called Dust 2. It was just Dust. no Dust 2.
Sick.
Deoxide will miss the shot. It looked like an easy enough one, but the grenade might be a good one. It tags 3 players, and then the C-set 75 AWP out. Deoxide taking care of Arcadia, and he's looking for even more fights, even though doesn't really need to at this point, but he's feeling the confidence. It will be Toniac to take the last round here. 8-7 in favor of Team SPUNJ. I think they did a pretty good job overall here.
I agree with you, Anders. You know why?
Go on.
Because they're Aussies. They're not about defense. These are big, burly guys who are used to playing rugby and, crushing skulls and whatnot with their bare hands. They need to be in the fight, or rather wrestling crocodiles. That's I think what they do, crocs, right? So I mean, they need to be aggressors. They need to get in the action, right? They need to set the pace.
Aren't Crocs those ugly shoes that people buy? I mean,
what?
Who's wrestling those? Crocs. They're those ugly shoes that people buy. Like
those sandals.
I can wrestle one of those. I don't know how you determine who wins, but I can do that all day. It's no problem.
Well, I have confidence in SPUNJ and his Riot over here that they'll be able to get in and put some good pressure on the Taiwanese team. Now it's all up to Luke. What is the Taiwanese defense going to look like here? And it looks like aggression coming in from Crazy Face. I like the angle. He's going to spot a lot of movement and be close enough to hear. His teammate is there, and they're just shredding them right now. SPUNJ running into a brick wall.
How is he not dead? Crazy Face. 2 people were shooting dead at him, and all he was doing to avoid it was jumping up and down, and somehow that worked for a long time. Namers picking up 3 kills in that round, and yeah, the Taiwanese team right back in the mix. This is a good way to get started in the second half for them. Really important, I think.
Okay then. Like, how does this pan out now? Because it doesn't really feel like these pistol rounds have mattered too much. Just saying, through most of these games over the past 2 days, pistol rounds, yay! It seems like a toss-up if you know how to deal with the anti-eco or not. And so SPUNJ, of course, they go for the force buy, Tech 9 Kevlar, a couple of nades. They didn't get a bomb plant. But what is this? The bomb is chilling out over by Alley. That's different. And yet they're going to show themselves over on Brown Halls.
Oh, but they're waiting. This is dangerous. Crazy Face walking right into it. Namers has got to go big here. He's low on health. He does make it back around the corner, but this is still very dangerous. Getting a chance to reload is always something. But this 4-on-4 could spiral out of control, and you can tell with the Deoxide and the bomb over there that they've got some deep play in mind here on Team SPUNJ.
Shots. There we go. Luke takes down Toniac, the Spice God. SPUNJ is going to find the trade, and SPUNJ with the 2 kills to open up the B site. Man advantage now. But that bomb, this was my concern. Oh, it's perfect. If Arcadia could just find this kill, no! That would have thrown everything out of whack for SPUNJ and his lads.
Yeah, that would have been horrifying. It was sort of almost eerie that Arcadia was hanging around for that long, because obviously he's supposed to have just swapped out of there. But we'll see how this unfolds now. They bring it back in similar pattern as it was on the first half here. Now we're at 9-8.
9-8 with a dream. Whoa. Down to 3 HP SPUNJ already. Nastiness.
A lot of C-sets on this team, and Yan Li just picking up 2 big kills. Crazy Face coming into it, taking down Toniac. They are just being decimated out in this yard. SPUNJ throwing in a random Molotov. I'm not sure how that's going to help, but they will be able to get the bomb plant down. So there's that. But a lot of this is going to have to come down to insanity. He's on 71 health. SPUNJ is practically out of it. Bit of a long-range fight. That's dangerous. You want to stay alive as long as you can here. They do not have a defuse kit, though. So that's the one thing. If you buy enough time, this can still work out. And that 1 HE grenade, 2 targets could go down to it. Now the flashbang comes in. Trade there, not quite good enough. And SPUNJ going to be going down to Crazy Face. Another round, even though it looked a bit worrisome for a moment.
It definitely did, but I'm getting flashbacks to Isaac from yesterday on the Polish team. He just kept getting these double kill rounds with the CZ75. It was nuts. Every single time he had a CZ75, he's getting at least 1 kill. And so, well, I mean, if Yan Li has that kind of quality, these pistol rounds are going to get even more difficult to deal with. These eco rounds. Because that CZ, it packs such a punch. If you're hitting your shots with it, that's a nightmare. Where do we go from here? SPUNJ has got the op. Interesting decision. I guess because he could just go glass cannon with it. He just had enough money for it, but he's going to take a risk. Whereas the rest of his team on rifles and nades.
Oh, nice shot from SPUNJ there. Right over the top. And that's going to give them a bit of a lead in this round. They're also fighting, you know, AKs versus UMPs on Team Luke. That worries me a lot. At least the one advantage here, or the one bonus, is that Team SPUNJ really don't have many grenades left. There's a couple of smokes and 1 Molotov there, so if they wait too long here, they could be in a weird position. They're going to try for the boost here. Some really professional play coming out.
I like this. Clever. And SPUNJ going to get Yan Li. Minute left. And a 2-man advantage, and SPUNJ with the follow-up. No, the aim punch denies it. Not going to be able to connect, and he spots the man moving closer. So now the pressure is on here. SPUNJ, he has some information to give to his teammate who's holding in Pop Dog right now. And he's going to miss the shot. Crazy Face putting up one hell of a fight right now.
Very important kill, Luke. He could almost line them up, but he's only going to get the 1 kill. Crazy Face will continue, though. And now it's back to a 2-on-2. He runs out of bullets, and that's going to be a 1v1. HPR versus Nameless. The bomb is dropped out there. There is a smoke going on, will allow him to get out. And that's important. If he's stuck in there, then this Molotov for HPR can really ruin his day. Once he realizes, if he realizes, then that could actually settle a lot of the round. He thinks he's behind Electric. Because of the smoke, he's thinking, wait a minute, something is wrong. Now it's going to be the bomb plant. Fake, actually, and he walks right into it. HPR playing it very well.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Definitely feeling it. I mean, they're confident, but they've got to be careful they don't get overly confident here, because basically they're in a position where they can still lose this game.
They are. This is far from over. This is far from over. Okay.
10-9 the scoreline. We're moving into the 20th round. We've got a couple of Deagles, a Scout, and on Team SPUNJ, it's looking a little better, but we keep having these weird rounds where like half the rounds are just
P90s.
Yeah, P90s or pistols even.
Pistols and P90s and whatever you can put together in a buy, whatever you can cobble together. Seems to be the main theme. I mean, it's what you expect. These are teams that are heavily relying on aim, so knowing how to chain rounds together, how to close rounds together, having steps. You know, there you go, right?
Wow.
What else do you need when you can hit headshots like that? Yan Li with a follow-up? Maybe. Yes, he does. The second headshot for him.
Look at the focus. It looked like he mentally even envisioned that before he turned the corner. He was so ready for it. And even though he caught SPUNJ mid-air, we need to see that in slow motion. He just adjusted the aim. That's a scary quality to be playing against. Like, Train is one of the maps where that is... I mean, you don't get any chance to get weird aim fights at all. Like, most of the time, you are just going to be having, like, some weird close-range fight right around the corner of a train, right? You're not going to get that many long-range fights. I'd love to see Yan Li play Mirage or Dust 2 or something where he could really be unlocked. That would be interesting.
Oh. I mean, Crazy doing a good job here. He's going to be able to hunt down HPR. And somehow, once again, Team SPUNJ struggling against these pistols. Although, as I say that, Deoxide decides to take matters into his own hands. He's in a 1v2. And they are close to the bomb train. Does he realize it, though? Looking for the headshot. He's going to find one. And there's the follow-up. No, misses the final shot that would have done it. Yanli with the P90 now. He's so close to doing it. Both of these players just going to the pistols, and Deoxide's going to find the headshot that ends the round. Again, another 1v1 clutch.
Man, I feel like that was the time when he's round to win there. It was looking so good. Those shots coming through from Yanli, but at the end of it, they couldn't do it. Look at this here. Just it's the adjustment to the it would look even sicker in slow motion. I can almost assure you. But yeah, good clutch from Deoxide, and we shouldn't be surprised. I think that was also an ace, in fact. So all 5 kills, surviving on 9 health. If we bring up the scoreboard, what is his score right now? It must be out of control. 26 kills in 20 rounds. All right.
Yeah, Deoxide's putting on a hell of a performance right now. And for a while there, he was the only one. He needs to, I mean, it's that kind of performance that's going to try and get his team fired up, and it's going to be necessary because otherwise we're going to be looking at Team Luke getting back into this. But so far, so good. They did kind of mess up a few of the smokes there. That's a little unfortunate, but so far, so good. It's a pistol round here for Team Luke. It's Eco, and so SPUNJ should be able to get up to 12, maybe even 13. It depends. Is this an anti-Eco or like a double Eco scenario right now for Team Luke? There we go. Everybody getting in on the action.
I mean, it's going to feel pretty good for them. Luke. Oh, it should have been a second kill there. It looked like it was going to happen. Instead, it's Deoxide adding a couple of more to his scoreboard. And also, Team SPUNJ edging ever closer to taking away the first map. It is only the first map at a best of 3 if you are just joining us here for the ROG Community Challenge. It's getting interesting. We already have 3 teams that have gone through, and we're looking to see if we can just get one more here. Not sure which one it's going to be yet, but
yeah, the last quarterfinal.
Yeah, 12-9 is the scoreline.
Oh? No, not going to be the case. I thought, perhaps for a moment. And SPUNJ, this is all on timing for him.
He's not going to get any kind of aggression coming out of top B, but Crazy Face is in the back line with the AWP. I suspect they're going to throw down smokes and flashes first, so it'll be interesting to see if he can handle that. He has to get at least 1 kill, because otherwise his teammate on the bomb side is going to be in so much trouble. And in fact, they just walk down. They don't even announce it, and when he re-peaks, they're ready for it. Good thinking by SPUNJ. Nameless has taken out an HPR, and now they're falling back. And they're going to... Oh, that's a great kill on SPUNJ. That's so important. Means all the grenades that he had are now lost. Toniak going to be going down to Yanli. Suddenly it's a 2-on-4. This retake is working out great for Team Luke at the moment. Deoxide, he has that 1 Molotov, and they don't have any kind of smoke on the other team. Oh, this could be very rough. They're already in with the defuse. Where's the Molotov happening? Yanli, he's just on it. He's going to hold it. Oh, no! Deoxide gets the double kill. And now it's Luke versus Deoxide. He's already got the double. Looking for the triple clutch. In fact, Luke going to have to make a run for it. Team SPUNJ, they make it work. In spite of being in a 2 versus 4, that's a very, very good round.
How many 1v1 situations are we going to have, though? That's like 3 back-to-back rounds now.
Yeah, and all of them by Deoxide, it seems. He's just winning everything.
Yeah. This guy, look at him, he's just nodding his head, having a good time. You know, it's a joy. It's like he has the music playing in his mind, right? Like Mozart or something.
He's got a 30 bomb, and we're not even at the end of this game. He's dropped 35 assists and 10 deaths. Please. It's a kill-death ratio of 3 for anyone not bothering to do the math.
That's what happens when you're with Aussie teams, though, when they're playing against the Southeast Asian region. It's just they have no respect, and that's when you really see like certain Aussie players just take off. You know, Azza, like that. That's really where you see like players like Azza, etc. You know, who know how to, you see what they're capable of. You get a performance that you don't really get to see very often versus the Europeans and the North Americans. I'd be curious to see if we see this Deoxide, if they make it through, for example, this Deoxide tomorrow in the semis.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. He's going to pick up another couple of kills, making it 32, make it 33. Why not? HPR to close out the round. And that's 14 rounds for Team SPUNJ. And this is what we were worried about, and it's why we keep reiterating the fact that it's so much easier to play on the T side when you're playing with mixed teams. You can tell the defense, even just one person goes down in any kind of a defensive scenario, the whole thing crumbles like right away. Double orb again coming out of Team Luke, though.
Why not? You've got the money. You got to go for it. You need the big guns now. And, a warning. Arcadia. SPUNJ stuck his nose out. But that smoke going down is just going to come down to timing and the leg shot.
Yeah, that he won't even realize he's got. You know, it's just like a blind shot, so he's got no confirmation that it's happening. But still, it's pretty good. 4 people down at Ivy, and on the other side, ready and waiting Arcadia. He's certainly going to be put to the test here. Very, very hard to defend against this many people, and he's not going to have very much backup either. I mean, maybe Luke could run in with the M4, but then he has to give up defending Pop Dog, so it's still not exactly a great trade. Arcadia flashing his way back in. Really wants to go for it. And the Australians on the other side, there's the Molotov in, and that's why it's so difficult to stand right there. He's trying to make the crossover, but dropped down to a third of health.
They're doing a fantastic job of staying alive, and burning time off the clock. Look at this, 50 seconds left now. And SPUNJ, they're going to have to just fully commit to this play. The smoke goes up to block him off. And so now it's Yanli hoping to get lucky through the smoke. He's going to find one, but that was SPUNJ. He was already at 17 HP. We're into a 4-on-4. Very even here between all of these teams. And HPR looking for the long wrap towards the B site. 30 seconds left, and Namerez is going to find one. Crazy Face still alive as well here in Connector.
And that kill from Namerez was so important. That was over by Pop Dog. He had to get that kill, otherwise they were going to get completely wrapped around. Now we're down to 23 seconds. The Australian team, they shouldn't be winning this. They're locked in. They will get the bomb plant home, but this is a very good retake scenario coming in from Team Luke. They're all around the bomb site. They've got the high ground advantage, but Deoxide going to get one. He gets a second one on Luke as well. He's still got bullets left. This is so good. He turns around. He looks for the triple. Namerez going to be able to take him down, but Insanity right here with a spray mid-air, catching the headshot, leaving Yanli in a one-on-one. And he goes for the reload, or the actually unscrewing the silencer. That was really, really awkward. And now that means it's going to be 15 rounds for the Australian team, who certainly being rowdy.
Yeah, that's they clearly lost it. They don't care anymore. They're having a ball. That's all that matters. And they've got this guy right now, Deoxide, just doing so much work. It's nuts. What's he up to now? 35? All right. 35 rounds. Or 35 kills, rather, in 25 rounds. Unbelievable scoreline. And we'll see if this is the last one. They go for the force by Team Luke, but they're stressed right now. They don't have that much money to work with, and the firepower is limited.
Good headshot from SPUNJ, taking on Yanli, who's been playing very well for Team Luke, but this seems to be all but over. Namerez gonna drop one, and actually great headshot on Toniak. He's definitely ready to take this fight to them. Back to a 1-on-2. Suddenly Namerez is coming alive with a triple kill, and that leaves Deoxide. He's done this many times before already in this first map. The question is if he can continue. He's gonna go down a Crazy Face, so that will extend it a bit further.
1 HP for Crazy Face. That's how close it gets when you're taking on this beast, Deoxide. Unbelievable. But we're in for a show. We're getting a show here in this last best of 3. This is gritty. This isn't very slow pace. This is fast. This is quick. And well, it speaks to what we heard from the Taiwanese team coming into this in the videos and in the interviews, that they want to play a fast, aggressive style. They want to go and try and take control of the situation with headshots. And while SPUNJ is just like, well, we don't care. We'll just play some. We'll get some headshots.
I feel like right now, both Namerez and Yanli are certainly showing that they've got some very good, like, basic aim. They're just very good aimers. But beyond that, like, they need something else here. SPUNJ gets taken out. I think Crazy Face had some good AWP rounds as well.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Crazy Face as well. He's doing well. Like, this is impressive stuff so far. I'm just curious now. The incendiary goes down to block off B site. Lower. Minute left on the clock. A little bit light on the nades now, but they still have a smoke on Deoxide to use. And a smoke on HPR. They don't even need to fully commit to this B site. It's like they're going back. They used this round already, what, like 7 rounds ago? 8 rounds ago, where they had the bomb over towards A.
Well, now it kind of doesn't matter. I mean, it's great doing a fake and all, but when the entire fake gets cancelled, then, you know, nothing really matters any longer. Still, they've got some rope left on the Australian side before we get into overtime. Curious if they can make that, though. Right now, the top of the scoreboard for Team Luke is Namerez, Crazy Face, and Yanli. There is a bit of a gap down to Arcadia and Luke, but it's not a massive one. It's not like they're not doing anything at all. There's just a bit of a gap. And look at the Australians. They don't have the money here. 11-15. Things are starting to get scary.
Ooh. Shots, and Yanli's going to get that nade onto Toniak. Yanli, he's everywhere. Gets a kill on Insanity as well. SPUNJ, is he going to fall next? No, it's Namerez to pick up the kill. But Arcadia, he's going to catch HPR, trying to get clever over here by the smoke. Not going to happen. Deoxide is the last man alive here for the Aussies. And well, he gets picked off. And so now it's getting closer, Anders. We're getting into that scenario now where it's within striking distance for this to go to overtime.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess in the back of my mind, all I'm thinking is it just takes one round where Deoxide goes and gets another triple or quad kill, and then what? You know, how are they going to stop that? They haven't really been able to so far. Like, even if he's been unable to clutch a couple of these 1v3s, it still seems like it's just any moment now it can happen. But they don't have the best equipment for it. Team SPUNJ. And maybe that could be a problem later on. Namerez with a fairly aggressive setup here, and it's actually going to go even more aggressive. He wants to go look for them. I like it.
Look at all the info he's getting. And now Yanli, oh no, it doesn't work out. The timing, Insanity is going to catch him. HPR down to 22, but still the push continues onto the A site. SPUNJ is there to catch the rotation from Namerez as well. They're on top of it, and this is shaping up to be a fantastic round for the Aussies to close out this first map.
Katie at 1 versus 4. They're jumping right through. He's going to get the kill on HPR, but I'm not sure if it's enough here. He's fighting all of them at the same time out in this yard, and SPUNJ will pick up the last kill there, making it a victory on the first map for the Australian team. There will be more to come, but I think they did very well, especially that second half was just completely on fire for them. They really showed that they had what it takes to take all these aim fights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's... yeah, there was more depth to the roster on the Taiwanese team, but then when you've got a player like Deoxide just going ham, that's really tough to counter as well. Kind of reminds you of certain situations in the past on the pro scene even, where you just have a player who's hitting that crazy god tier level, and he just takes over a map, and there really isn't a whole lot that you can do if the guy's just going to get headshots everywhere. We kind of saw that with Deoxide right now, where he's just dominating.
16-12 victory, so, you know, not completely crushing them, but I would say certainly in the second half, it really looked like there had to be sort of an extraordinary performance for the Taiwanese to get back into it.
Yeah.
It was the first map, and I wonder how the Cash is going to be playing out. Like, I'm really curious about that one.
And Cash is going to be Luke's map.
Yeah.
So that's different. Maybe we'll see a different, we'll get to see a different Team Luke on a map that they picked into, that they wanted. So then the question is, you know, are they picking for like a middle ground, or are they picking for a map that they know that they're going to have all the edges on? So
now, I think 2 out of the 3 on the desk managed to pick the Australian team to win, and I think Flom and I are the only one who are with the Taiwanese. Sadly, but I mean, what do you feel like, Flom, at this point? Is it did they do well enough? Did they disappoint you, or was it all right?
I think that was fine. I think honestly, if the Aussies will win this, if they do win it, it'll be 2-0. But I think if they drop, I think it's Cash next, right, and then D2. Yes. I think if they lose Cash, I think the Taiwanese will win it 2-1. I think it's kind of where I'm sitting. Like, I think they showed that they weren't playing bad. Deoxide was just playing phenomenal. How many kills did he end with,
guys? Can I ask?
35, I think.
35.
Like that's like an insane
time,
individual
insane.
performance.
Yeah.
That was really good, and I don't know if we'll see that all the way across the series. And I think Taiwanese team has a little bit more to like rely on, fall back on, and yeah, I'll be curious to see if they get the next map 2-0. That's what But if they get Cash, that's where I think they'll turn it around.
As we are still in split screen, you guys can vote. Watching, all you need to do is exclamation mark followed by the captain's name of the team that you favor. So either Luke or SPUNJ. It's currently 76-24. That's a pretty big margin for SPUNJ there. 3/4 of people favoring him, and it's increasing slightly as well. Yeah. But I feel like I have this slight memory, slight ghost that these guys played Cash at the tournament in Taipei, and they did pretty well. I don't know if that's 100%.
I mean, the Australians can't even pronounce Cash. How are they going to be able to play?
Sometimes I think that they want a quiche. I don't know. It's
quiche
weird.
Lorraine's lovely.
Yeah, and then also Dust 2. I know that they perform well on Dust 2. They did play that map in Taipei, and that's when they started unleashing hell.
Cool. You talk about that on the desk. I'm gonna hit this pizza.
And
we'll get back.
Yes.
So
nice. Go ahead,
catch up with you guys later.
Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah.
And I guess we can go on to talking briefly a bit about this next map. It's Cash, and it is the pick of Taiwan and Luke. Guys, it looks like this is... I kind of agree with you, Flom, at this point. So I was one of the people that voted at the start that this would go in favor of SPUNJ. But I didn't see the maps beforehand. We didn't have that information straight away here on the desk. Now that I've seen it's Cash and Dust 2, I don't know why I just have this weird feeling that they played a good game on Cash in Taipei. Of course, such a small sample size, but it could mean something.
I just think that maps like Cash, for example, you can work really well off just having, not necessarily just the basics down, but you watch how they played, they had great lines of kind of sight, and they worked so well together. I think they can exploit some of the things that come along with having like more of a mixed team, right? They can have really crisp rotations, they can pull people from sides, they can make it incredibly uncomfortable to play for SPUNJ's side. But then again, there's always that counter argument of if Deoxide just goes off, it doesn't matter. We saw what happened with Maikelele doing it before, for example, right? You see these players who can pull off crazy stuff. You get these 3Ks almost, defining the opening sort of foray into a game. If that happens again, it doesn't matter how much depth you have. You'd have to really pull yourself individually up to the same sort of par, or hope he just goes cold randomly, hope that something doesn't quite click into the right place. So again, for me, I think that they should have the depth to be able to sustain through Cash. If it's a map that they're confident that they play it, they should be able to spank these guys. Like, let's be honest, I know a lot of the Asian team as well doesn't necessarily play the whole map pool before. There's been maps that they didn't necessarily take into the same sort of account. They showed some real sort of fluid play on train. They seemed very, very up to scratch on it. Maybe not to the executes we're seeing from SPUNJ's side to a degree, but they should have more than that on Cash. So again, this should be a way closer game.
Eric, what did you pick up from watching Taiwan Z? It can be pros, it can be cons. What stood out for you the most?
That they were fearless. Like, most of the time they were like, no matter what was going on in the round, they still executed it, regardless of maybe the round fell apart, whatever it was, they were always kind of just like, they were always on the same page. Yeah. And I mean, we all know Train is SPUNJ's map. That is, yes. that is their map. If they're gonna win a map, if they're gonna play good, hugging it or not, he's gonna be able to call that, he's gonna be able to play it. That's gonna be their best map. So I'm kind of interested to see how it'll play out on Cash.
We did, touch upon Deoxide briefly in his 35 kills. We actually have some replays coming up now to show you and remind you just how lethal this guy is. Of course, it started off with that insane double headshot in the pistol round. He managed to use the CZ very effectively here in the corner and then switch back to the AWP. He was actually overall a very strong pistol. He's quite awkward because he's looking at me right now as I praise him. I feel like we're having an intimate moment.
Look at this.
He's laughing now. Yeah, you're a very good player, mate.
The thing is that I want to highlight as well, these weren't just necessarily like the filler kills, the fluffier kills. So you can see a lot of people
some of these kills were huge impact kills.
These were actually really impactful kills.
In the clutch.
Exactly. Yeah. These are big. These take a
Look
lot
at that
of
swagger when he's
mentality. Look at this guy. Look, he's like, okay, I've got a camera shot on me, got to like tense up a bit.
Yeah, flex the muscles, Deoxide. You're on stream, brother.
Look at that smile.
You're live on stream. Oh, the tongue out. Savage. We like that. Anyway, he's so strong, but I do think, and this isn't some sort of myth I've made up to kind of like portray these guys like they haven't. No, genuinely, like if Crazy Face starts. You saw, so Flom, you're like a kind of like an AWPer who's been playing at a high level for quite some time. No, and so when you see someone like that, you can pick up that there were some like lines of sight.
The biggest thing is when you watch people, especially when they're like playing early on, they kind of like look all over, right? They're really nervous. They're kind of all over the place, just kind of like shooting randomly maybe. But he was really like concise. When he looked somewhere, he was confident that they would be there. He was ready. He didn't necessarily go off, but he wasn't like, the moment wasn't too big for him or anything like that.
Yeah, I just have this feeling if they pick up some steam and some momentum that it could really start swinging in their favor. Either way, we will not be going to that straight away. We'll be going to a break, and then we will head back to the casters to get that map underway. Do not go anywhere. You do not want to miss Cash.